guys, and welcome back to Virtual Sunday School. I hope you guys are doing great. Do you know what it means to act boldly? What about be brave? Do you know what the word courageous means? Well, in today's lesson, we're going to hear a story about two brave women and the courageous act that they did to do the right thing. So our story today comes from Exodus chapter 1, verses 1 through 25. But you can also follow along in your All of Us God Storybook, chapter 7. Brave women. For many years, Jacob, his son Joseph, and all of Joseph's brothers and their families lived in Egypt. By the time everyone in Joseph's generation had died, the land was filled with the people of Israel. Now, a new king had come to power in Egypt who didn't know Joseph. He said to his people, "The Israelite people are now larger in number and stronger than we are. Come on, let's get smart. Let's deal with them. Otherwise, they will grow in number. And if war breaks out, they will join our enemies, fight against us, then escape from the land." So the Egyptians decided to wear down the people of Israel. They forced them to work as slaves and build cities for the king. Even though the Israelites were treated cruelly, their families continued to grow larger. The king of Egypt sent out for two Hebrew midwives named Shiphrah and Puah. Now, a midwife is traditionally a female who assists the expectant mother in the birth of her child. So Shiphrah and Puah were midwives during this time. The king of Egypt spoke to both of them and said, "When you are helping the Hebrew women give birth, and you see the baby being born, if it's a boy, kill him. But if it's a girl, you can let her live." Now the two midwives respected God, so they didn't obey the Egyptian king's order. Instead, they let the baby boys live. So the king of Egypt called to the two midwives and said to them, "Why are you doing this? Why are you letting the baby boys live?" The two midwives told a little lie to the Pharaoh and said, "Because Hebrew women aren't like the Egyptian women. They're much stronger and they give birth before any of us midwives even get to them." So God treated the midwives well, and the people kept on multiplying and became very strong. And because the midwives respected God, God gave them households of their own. Then Pharaoh gave an order to all the people: "Throw every baby boy born to the Hebrews into the Nile River, but you can let all those girls live." Now, when one Israelite mother had a baby boy, she hid him in her home. After 3 months, she could not hide him anymore, so she put her baby in a basket. She put the basket among the reeds near the river bank. The baby's sister stood by to watch over him. Pharaoh's daughter came there to that location to bathe in the river. While her women servants walked along beside the river, she saw the basket among the reeds. She sent one of her servants to bring it to her. When she opened it, she saw the child. The boy was crying. She felt so sorry for him. She said, "This must be one of those Hebrew children." Then the baby's sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Would you like me to go and find one of the Hebrew women to nurse the child for you?" Pharaoh's daughter agreed, "Yes, yes, do that." So the girl went and called on her own mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child and nurse it for me. I will pay you for your work." So the woman took the child, her own child, and nursed it. After the child had grown up, she brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her own son. She named him Moses because, she said, I pulled him out of the water. Grace be to God for these brave women. As we take a moment to reflect on our story today, we recognize the courageous acts that these women did. For example, Shiphrah and Puah standing up to the Pharaoh and not killing those baby boys, knowing that that would not have been God's will. Or that mother hiding her baby and placing him in a basket exactly where the Pharaoh's daughter would be bathing. Or the big sister standing by watching over her baby brother. All these women chose to be brave, knowing that they were doing the right thing, knowing they were trusting in God and following His will. When was the last time you witnessed something you knew that was wrong? As you think about that, I wonder how you were involved in making that wrong right. I encourage you this week to think about times when you've been brave, when you've been courageous, when you stood up for what was right, even when it was scary, when it was hard, even if it meant standing up to someone more powerful or bigger. But you still chose to do God's will, to follow the guidance of Jesus. Please join me in prayer. God, thank you for Shiphrah and Puah, who show us how to bravely do what is right. Give us courage to make choices that help others, even when it is hard. Lord, surround us with your love. Give us peace and walk with us every step of the way. Amen. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Until next time.